think we're just waiting for all the rooms to start at exactly the same time, so bear with us. Okay, 1 minute more.
Please join me in welcoming the team from China, from Guangdong Pharmaceutical University.
Testing, testing. This is testing from Guangdong Pharmaceutical University, China.
Testing, testing. This is a testing from Guangdong Pharmaceutical University of China.
Testing, testing. This is the testing from Guangdong Pharmaceutical University, China.
Testing, testing. This is the testing from Guangdong Pharmaceutical University, China.
Flourishing logistics and systems emerge in various industries, including the edible mushroom industry.
Testing, testing. This is the testing from Guangdong Pharmaceutical University, China.
Straw mushrooms
Testing,
are one of the
testing.
most popular
This is the
edible
testing
mushrooms.
from Guangdong Pharmaceutical University, China.
Testing, testing. This is a testing from Guangdong Pharmaceutical University, China.
You have 1 minute left of your setup period. You may now begin your presentation.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are the Enactus team from Guangdong Pharmaceutical University, China. We have created a CSO material recycling system through our project Evergreen. The project Evergreen has solved the environmental problem caused by the agricultural waste in southern China. and increase a new source of incomes for the mushroom farmers. In the process, we use our pharmaceutical expertise to improve the traditional Chinese medicine industry in our country. Now first, let's watch a video about the backgrounds of our project.
With the rapid development of China, flourishing logistics and trading systems emerge in various industries, including the edible mushroom industry. Straw mushrooms are one of the most popular edible mushrooms in the world. Due to its good taste and application in the treatment of diabetes, straw mushrooms enjoy great popularity among Chinese people, and the industry has grown rapidly. However, underlying the prosperous straw mushroom industry is a major environmental issue. Tons of straw mushroom waste has built up from the straw mushroom production. The waste rotted, smelled, and polluted the river.
This is Liyu Mushroom Farm, located in China's largest straw mushroom planting base, which is Huangbanglin Village in Guangzhou, in the south of China. In 2016, scandalous news concerning the environmental pollution of Huangbanglin Village was disposed by media. Complaints from the villagers, negative comments in the media, and increasing pressure from the government almost led to the shutdown of Liyu Mushroom Farm. Mr. Zhu was the owner of Liyu Mushroom Farm, and there were 37 villagers that work on the farm. The villagers told us that if Liyu Mushroom Farm was shut down, they would lose their only source of income. If this happened, they would have to leave their homes to find jobs elsewhere to earn their living. Mr. Zhu suffered a lot. This was the reality we found in Huangbanglin Village in 2016. But what's even more devastating is that there were 150 villages just similar to Huangbanglin in the south of China.
Facing such a dilemma, we wonder whether we could help this situation and how could a team of students find a way to solve this serious problem. We conducted a lot of research and we found that the straw mushroom growth cycles is about 20 days. After the 20 days, the base material will turn into waste, whose main components are Chinese herbal residue. We analyzed the main components and we found that it contains a great amount of organic matter and humic acid. Theoretically, it can be used as a kind of raw material of organic fertilizer. So, if we want to turn the straw mushroom waste into organic fertilizer, first things we need to know is the market situation in China. According to the report from the Ministry of Agriculture, the use of organic fertilizer in agriculture developed country has reached more than 50%, where in China, the use of organic fertilizer is only at 26%. Also, according to data from the Ministry of Agriculture, the use of organic fertilizer, the demand of organic fertilizer was expected to reach about 13 million pounds by the year 2020, while the total production at present is only 4 million tons. Third of all, the government has just come out with a tax incentive for organic fertilizer. This policy has exempted the organic fertilizer industry from paying the value-added tax, which is normally 17%. Giving a chemical advantage of straw mushroom waste and a favorable market situation of organic fertilizer, we decided that turning straw mushroom waste into organic fertilizer was worth a try.
With this idea in mind, we came up with a material recycling system based on a natural phenomenon. In autumn, leaves fall down to the ground. After decomposition of microorganisms, nutrients go back into the soil, nourishing the trees. We compare the leaves to the mushroom waste and the trees to the Chinese herbs. We adopted the capital letters of the three materials in the process and named our method as CSO recycling system. C means Chinese herbal residue, which is used to cultivate straw mushroom. S means straw mushroom waste, which is fermented into organic fertilizer. And O means organic fertilizer, which is used to the planting of Chinese herbs. We share this CSO recycling system with Mr. Zhu from the mushroom farm. He thought highly of our system and was willing to provide straw mushroom waste for us to conduct experiment. Now please listen to his comment on our CSO recycling system.
如果你哋真係要同我哋合作嘅話咧，就最好啦。如果係你哋可以幫我哋提高呢個我哋出嚟嘅枯渣，再增加佢個附加值嘅情況下咧，係對於我哋種菇人嚟講係一個夢寐以求嘅事情。因為咧種菇係一班農民自己自發而做嘅一個產業。咁咧，佢每年嗰個肥料咧，單一呢個行業咧係超過10萬噸嘅菇渣出嚟。
After getting positive feedback from Mr. Zhu, we made our way to Step S. In the CSO recycling system, we developed the technology of fermenting the mushroom waste into organic fertilizer with the bioengineers of our school. The most important step in the fermentation process is reaching the best value of carbon to nitrogen ratio, which we determined was a ratio of 25:1. In order to reach this ratio, we added bagasse and stir as mixed ingredients and designed 8 groups of experiments using different proportions of the main raw materials. Then, we used crude fiber bacteria as the fermentative strain. We added strain with the brown sugar water and mixed it with the raw material. What's more, we monitor the temperature, humidity, and pH level of the fermentation materials every day. After the experiment, we sent a sample of our fertilizer to be inspected. The results were very promising. When the ratio of the mushroom waste, bagasse, and stir is certified to 8:1, the optimal carbon to nitrogen ratio 25:1 can be reached. Also, the organic fertilizer contains 63% of organic matter, which exceeded standard by 18%. These results prove the great success of our process to ferment the organic fertilizer.
Well, do you still remember our CSO recycling system? Now we have accomplished Step S, taking the mushroom waste from straw mushroom production and turning it into organic fertilizer. Next, we attempted to realize Step O, using the organic fertilizer to cultivate Chinese herbs used in the production of traditional Chinese medicine. We decided to plant Chinese herbs at our school to conduct a fertility experiment. After harvesting the herbs, we were pleased to find that the total production of Chinese herbs increased by 6.3%. This experiment proved that our organic fertilizer was appropriate for planting Chinese herbs.
Then, we started to teach the workers how to ferment the mushroom waste. In order to help them better memorize the fermentation process, we post the process on the bulletin boards and summarize the procedures into a catchy song. Well, Rita, will you sing a few bars for us while the English explanation is on the screen?
Oh, sure. 一看军中首当先，选入色红或色浅，耳边高闻65，手握不沾有纸页。3人产品细分装，发酵时长半个月。
Wow, I will buy your album! Thank you. Except this, we also demonstrated to the workers how we conducted the whole fermentation process on site. It took the workers 2 months to master the technology. After that, Mr. Zhu gave the organic fertilizer to the local villagers who once suffered a lot from the mushroom waste accumulation. A month later, the villagers told us the good news.
那如果你们用菇渣来种菜的话，对这个菜有具体一点的好处吗？
好啊，我肥的、大的、快的。
哦，长得快是吧？这菜。
那你们这个菇渣之后会怎么样？
哎，用菇渣就好一点。这个松地哦。
松地。
对。
Seeing such beautiful smiles on their face, we knew that we were doing the right things. After receiving positive feedbacks from the villagers, Mr. Zhu established Liyu Organic Fertilizer Factory and named his product as Liyu Organic Fertilizer in June 2016.
Then, we tried to help Mr. Zhu to expand the market of his organic fertilizer. There are 1,636 traditional Chinese medicine enterprises in China. The annual transaction volume of Chinese herbs, which is to over $60 billion every year. Also, in order to guarantee the safety and quality of the Chinese herbs, many Chinese herb plantations in China all use organic fertilizer in the planting of Chinese herbs. So, we targeted Chinese herbs as the initial market to which we will apply the organic fertilizer. In July 2016, we went to Pingxing Chinese herbs plantation. Pingxing Chinese herbs plantation covers an area of 116 acres. Mr. Gan is the owner of Pingxing Plantation, and he told us that the cost of organic fertilizer was very high, while the price of our organic fertilizer is $23 cheaper than the organic fertilizer he was using. So he was very delighted to know of a more cost-effective source of high-quality organic fertilizer. So we introduced Mr. Zhu to Mr. Gan. After an initial discussion, they decided to first test the fertilizer before considering further cooperation. During the pilot project, we designed a group of comparative experiments to benchmark the effects of fertility. 4 months later, Mr. Gan was very happy to tell us that after using Mr. Zhu's organic fertilizer, the Chinese herbs grew luscious. Also, when compared to the use of the old organic fertilizer, Mr. Zhu's fertilizer has increased the yield by 7.9%. Now, let's watch a video of Mr. Gan's feedback.
呢個有機肥喺我哋種植嘅產品入邊咧，就使用咗之後咧，就變得粗綠咗，葉面就變大咗，嗰個枝幹就變咗粗壯咗，總個產量就提升咗。跟住咧就係對於嗰個土壤咧起到好大個作用，個土壤就變疏鬆、變黑咗，整個效果咧就相當好。
Since the experiment of using Mr. Zhu's organic fertilizer proved successful, Mr. Zhu and Mr. Gang decided to sign a 2-year contract and apply the Liyu organic fertilizer to 100% of Ms. Gang's herbs. Now, Mr. Zhu's organic fertilizer had a stable distribution channel. He was really delighted to see his business booming.
In May 2017, our CSO material recycling system won support from China's largest pharmaceutical company, Guangzhou Pharmaceutical Holding Limited. With their participation, a brand new business model was formed. The pharmaceutical company provides Chinese herbal residue to the mushroom farm to cultivate straw mushroom. Liyu Organic Fertilizer Factory ferments straw mushroom waste into organic fertilizer. The Chinese herb plantation uses organic fertilizer to cultivate Chinese herb. And eventually, the pharmaceutical company purchased Chinese herb to make herbal tea. A perfect ecosystem was formed. Recently, 2 Chinese herb plantations under the pharmaceutical company have signed an agreement with Liyu Organic Fertilizer Factory. In the next season, Liyu Organic Fertilizer Factory will provide them 4,000 tons of organic fertilizer, doubling Liyu's production. In order to expand Liyu's production, Liyu Organic Fertilizer Factory purchased straw mushroom waste from other farms in Huangbanglin village to make organic fertilizer.
This year, we finished creating an ecosystem called the CSO recycling system. Environmentally, first, CSO addressed the issue of agricultural waste in Huangbanglin village, disposing 100% of Liyu mushroom farm's total mushroom waste. Second, the CSO system improved the environment for more than 1,200 villagers. The lives of these villagers were improved as they will no longer have to suffer from the environmental pollution caused by smelling the stench of the mushroom waste. The dirty, sticky, and smelly river become cleaner.
Economically, 1. CSO recycling system helped Mr. Zhu develop a new business, fermentating straw mushroom waste into organic fertilizer, generating a new source of income for the Liyu mushroom farm. Second, since the project launch, Liyu Organic Fertilizer Factory sold 2,982 tons of organic fertilizer, generating nearly $300,000.
Socially, first, by setting up fertilizer factory, 15 new jobs were created for surrounding villages. Second, Liu Organic Fertilizer Factory purchased out-of-farm mushroom waste in Huangbang village, saving 135 workers from unemployment.
In the upcoming year, we will replicate our CSO recycling system to 20 villages in China and building 20 eco-villages which are environmentally sustainable. We will help lift more people out of poverty by providing them with decent jobs.
This year, we took action with entrepreneur spirit, completely changing the environment of the village.
We disposed of 4,920 tons of straw mushroom waste.
We improved the environments for more than 1,200 villagers.
We generated a revenue of almost $300,000.
However big challenges are lying ahead, we will never give up trying to make our planet a better place.
We are the Enactus team from Guangdong Pharmaceutical University, China. Thank you.
Thank you. We will now begin the question and answer session. Judges, please raise your hand and we'll pass you a microphone.
Thank you very much for your presentation. Do you have any challenges during your project execution process?
Yes.
Can you share with us?
Yes. Actually, we went into a dilemma when we were conducting an outdoor fermentation experiment in order to find out the best carbon to nitrogen ratio. And during the hot summer days, we had to stand by all the time to record the temperature, pH level, and humidity of our raw materials twice a day. And what's worse, our experiment failed at the very first time. Although it's really frustrating, but with the help of our professors at school, and finally, our technology was successfully developed. And at that very moment, all of our hard work and respiration paid off. That's why we're very proud of what we have made it today. Thank you.
Thank you for a very good presentation. I just have a question. I'd just like to understand a bit more about what the team did this year, since 2016, when, I don't remember his name, but the farmer got up and running. And so if you can talk to me a bit more about that, thank you.
Thank you for your question. Our project has run about 17 months, and we discovered this environmental problem at the very beginning of 2016. And we spent nearly 3 months to develop the technology, and we helped Mr. Zhu set up the factory at June 2016. And this year, in order to help him to expand the market, we helped Mr. Zhu sign contact with the Chinese herb plantation, Pingxing Chinese herb plantation. And in May 2017, we signed a 2 contract with the pharmaceutical company.
Great presentation, guys. Given your plans to expand to 20 new sites, and that the farmer you've been working with so far, you said took 2 months to master the process, how are you going to overcome those obstacles? Because you probably can't be in 20 places at once.
Okay, thank you. In terms of the replication, we plan to replicate our technology and our system to 20 villages first in China. We plan to cooperate with the local agricultural technology department that will help us to replicate our technology to a wider scale of China. And at the same time, we'll also consider about planting vegetables using our organic fertilizer. And thirdly, we will continue to work on our technology to improve it, so as our technology will be able to transform other kinds of agricultural waste into organic fertilizer, thus tackling the environmental pollution caused by agricultural waste accumulation in a wider scale. Thank you.
Thanks, a great presentation. You mentioned in the annual report you're applying for a patent. Is that just in China, and is it for the process of turning mushroom waste into fertilizer? So you'd be the only ones that be allowed to do that if you get the patent? Is that how it works?
Actually, the patent is the technology of the whole fermentation process, and different kinds of raw material when turning to the organic fertilizer have different process, and this is for our process, and we are applying the patent now, and it will be published maybe at April 2018, and at that time we will charge the patent royalty.
Great presentation, and I was wondering, is there any follow-up to your client or the farmer that you work with into how is he going to use his now new revenue of almost $300,000? How will that trickle down the economy of the community, or is that just revenue for himself?
Thank you for your question. Actually, Mr. Zhu purchased the mushroom farms from other farms. The other farms is going to shut down because of the accumulations of the straw mushroom waste. There were 98 workers were saved from the unemployment because of Mr. Zhu's organic fertilizer factory.
Hi, just a question about the patent. I'm just wondering, what happens if you don't actually get this patent and other people start making the same business, etc., and how will you maintain your competitiveness in the market when it expands?
Okay, thank you. If our right now our patent is on the audit stage, and if finally in 2018 our patent failed to be approved, but we will also continue to work with our professors at school to refine our technology, because there are many other kinds of agricultural waste existing.
I'm sorry, your time has expired. Judges, please join me in thanking the team from China.